Hello and welcome to Campaign Comrades, your favorite leftist gaming podcast. I would say Happy New Year to be, thematically appropriate to the topic of today, even though technically this will be our second content outing of the new year. We did an episode last week on gaming DLCs. Folks, go check that out. Getting some interesting feedback on that one. A lot of people lamenting a lot of the issues that we talked about, but then a lot of people just, licking the corporate nutsack.
Hell yeah.
So a lot of interesting engagement there, but go check that out. Matt's microphone is having lots of issues today, so if he cuts in and out and or quality changes, that's going to be the reason why. But speaking of trends and New Year's trends, right? The one that I've been seeing that I want to avoid and do something slightly different is everyone's doing their industry predictions for 2026. And they're all pretty much the same thing. They're all, not good things. GTA 6 is going to get delayed or is going to completely blow up the industry.
I actually saw
more layoffs,
they
more
didn't
buyouts.
allow themselves to make a is GTA 6 coming out or getting delayed prediction. They had to make legitimate predictions about GTA 6.
Yeah. Features and stuff like that. Yeah. But so instead, what I wanted to do is just, take the I'm returning to tradition, right? But then giving it the new fresh spin. So we're doing our New Year's resolutions, but what are our gaming resolutions for 2026? We each brought 2 to the channel, and maybe we'll throw in a channel wide. I asked you to bring in 2. If you brought in more, that's totally fine. But I only asked that you bring 2. But maybe we'll throw in an extra one at the end, and we'll see. Maybe we've got some overlap, maybe we don't. And I figure we'll kind of just go one by one, and we'll give our two resolutions, and just the general rules here that we gotta abide by is, as we are discussing each person's thing, no like holier than thou, no judgment of you need to do this because you're bad. I'm speaking totally from myself here. For one of mine, you're not allowed to judge me for this one. You're not to be like, well, I don't do that.
It's going to be something like gonna play more horse girl games.
We're gonna be supportive here. We're lifting each other up here. We're
in the
comrades.
Trust tree.
Yeah.
I mean, I have definitely not been lifting people up at the gym. I've been judging hardcore, and especially enjoying watching now that the first week has truly come and gone, how many of them I did not see return.
Are tapering off, right? So these
I
think
woke up
are
and put the hater hat on.
I think these are going to be more sustainable resolutions than some others. Although I've got at least one, and I'll give my first one, is way more ambitious on my end, but I do have to kind of reasonably scope it, and I think that will help keep it manageable. So my first and kind of major one, and it ties into something I want to do for the channel, but it is also personal, something I want to engage with, is I have it written in my notes doing this every day. I think what's more appropriate is like every weekday, right? As a weekday thing, kind of adding to my remote work schedule to kind of just keep things active. I want to write something about games every day, whether it's a short little blog post about like a news item, maybe it's a longer review, and maybe it's working on a larger project. It doesn't need to be that I need to like put out a piece of content every day, but I want to like work on writing something about games every day. And then it can be reviews, could be maybe, more scripts for some YouTube videos. I want to just be constantly engaging those critical muscles to, keep my voice kind of sharp and focused. But it'll also, I think, has helped me in the past with things like my backlog, and I can kind of like fold this kind of project as like a sub piece of this. It's what I've started doing as I'm trying to catch up on this project before moving into more kind of content-driven goals, is that I'm trying to use the site backlogged for my game collection organization. Within each one, there's space for, writing little reviews and your thoughts. Think of it, it's like Letterboxd.
I was gonna say, sounds like Letterboxd.
It's very much like Letterboxd. Even in its naming convention, Letterbox doesn't have the ed at the end. Neither does Backlogged. So I don't know if they're related or not.
No erectile dysfunction with either.
So I was importing from my Google Sheets from previous years because you can track all sorts of things. You can track, what platforms, how you completed playtime, play sessions if you wanted to get super granular. Review, and you can write notes about each play session. Maybe that's something that I do that, again, it's just like, if I don't have anything pressing content wise, it's just, here's what I played recently and here's what I'm thinking. It's just, I want to keep my critical voice as sharp as possible. And I think that's I know for myself is most effective through the written word. So that is something that I want to engage with more in 2026, is just writing more stuff. And I think it has the potential to be a benefit to the channel of just creating more content, and to the point where I may try to, if I find it feasible, is to try to spin it up into like an actual blog page for the channel rather than just like posting them for free to the Patreon or whatever. Actually trying like a blogging platform. I should have written this down obviously for the episode, but like I already mentioned, so it's like maybe doing like a game, like a short blog post on what I've been playing in a week, an interesting news story. Some of those things could be interchanged with, again, longer review projects, things like that. I want to come up with maybe like a third thing to work on, and then again kind of space those out and work on that through the week. But nothing major that like gets in the way of my actual work, but just something little bit in short. And I think that's what makes any type of, New Year resolution type thing more manageable, is something that you can kind of regiment and schedule and keep yourself organized, but to keep your concerns for scope in check, right? Not to be like, I got to be putting out a blog post every fucking day. That's crazy. That would burn me out. But just to write a little bit of something, if it's 200 words on the game that I'm playing, I think that's good enough, and could maybe help refine some insights into game design, thematic critique, all that kind of stuff. So that's like my major one that's my positive one. That's something I want to do creatively, positively. I've got another one. My second one is a behavior that I want to change in myself. And so this one is buying fewer games and resisting FOMO. I need to do better with that. I need to be a more conscious spender. I'm not like, racking up credit card debt, buying video games. It's just, I'm not doing any of that. It's more just like where I really get stuck, or where I get trapped the most, is when I see a deal. Is when I see like, this is a game that I've had on my radar, and it's hit, like, if it's like a physical game, my general rule had been, if it's $20 or under, I'm going to jump on it. And for like Steam sales, it's like if it's under $10, I'm going to jump on it. And I think for Steam games in particular, it's really have to understand that game sales will always be happening again, and they will always be cheaper. The game will never be more expensive than it is right now, or when I am interested in it, that it'll, yes, if I'm patient enough, it will always go even lower. And it's just there is the financial aspect of it too. I could use to save some money. But then there's just the overloading of my backlog, right? Getting through a backlog has been a goal of mine for a while, and I do myself no favors by continually adding stuff that I'm not going to play for 6 months or a year, So
one step forward, 2 steps back with respect to the backlog list.
That really is what happened. Like, so recently, as like a clear example, I've got like my rotating bookshelf type thing that I keep my physical games on. And for like the face of it, because it's multi-face, it rotates. For the face of it, that's like my PS5 games. I've got like my running thing of like my completed games and games that I like, keep in my library. Then I have a shelf up above that's like a kind of like, essentially that's the backlog. Those are unplayed games. And I had gotten to a point where I had gone over the space allotted in that one shelf, and I was thinking, okay, I've had so much spillover. I got to think critically about this. I picked like 5 games from the very, very back end of like, I'm never going to play this. This was something, again, that I picked up on this sale that the FOMO got to me. Like Diablo 4 on PS5. I got for like $20, and it's just like I'm never gonna play that.
That was a free PS Plus month game at one point.
Oh, I'm sure. No, I'm sure I have it, and I claim those. But like I claim the PS Plus stuff. But like if there's a physical version that I can get a good deal on, I'm gonna prefer still to do that. That is how I will double dip, because I didn't technically. Yes, I pay the money for the subscription service, but like I didn't pay money for the digital version. And those things always come and go. So it's like, if I see a good deal, I usually try to get it. And so like I had this, collection of like 5 games or so. And we went to our local game store. I sold them. In reality, I just traded them in because a lot of them, didn't have a lot of value. I traded in basically for a copy of Devil May Cry 5, which is a physical game. Good point too. Was originally on the PS Plus service. It wasn't like a monthly game, but it was like just in the library, and it is gone now. It's not available. So like I had it in my library, but then it went away. So I'm like, okay, I need to get a physical version. And I'd been like keeping my eye on one in like the Amazon cart for a while and never really went down to that price. But it's one that I really want to play. And so I traded it in. And I was able to condense my shelf back to the one thing. I'm now like, I'm back to spill. I'm like a couple games spilled over. Because I bought like Digimon Time Stranger. I bought the Yakuza Kiwami games. I bought Avatar, which again, recently that one was a very good deal. And I'm at least playing that game. I got Avatar Frontiers of Pandora with the Fire and Ash DLC for $5. That never went on the shelf, right? I got it and I immediately started playing it. So that's better. And again, I want $5. That's really good. And that's what I want to do more. It's like, is to only buy the games that I want to play right now. I get too much. It's like, FOMO on missing out on a good deal that I'm going to end up having to, when I want to play it, either, I won't have it and I'll have to pay a premium for it. So I'm like, I see this good deal. I got to grab it now. And then there's the part of me that also likes to support smaller projects and smaller studios and or properties that are a little bit more of a gamble. It's like I want to contribute to their sales because I want to see this continue. That the patient gamer may, if too many people are patient gamers and franchises don't sell, the new games don't get made. So there's part of me that's like, I want to support the things that I want to support. And I'll buy it at launch for full price. But I really got to just pull back and really just buy the games that I want to play right now and those few projects that are like, this is something special. Even if I can't fit it into it is worthy to go into the backlog and I want to support the studio. But you see, even now, I'm like giving myself too many outs, right? So that's my major one. And it's going to be, I think, the bigger challenge is just to resist only buy what I need to play right now, and to be more the patient gamer, because the backlog is there. I've got plenty of stuff in the backlog, and it's really got to speak to me. It's like, I got to play it now. That's my number 2.
I think those are admirable goals. For your FOMO, I think you got to always also remind yourself used games are available.
True.
You're like, and those maybe not be at the level of the discount that you're usually getting, but they're at least going to be cheaper than the new game. So True. You always do have that sort of as an option.
But there is also the part of me that's like, I don't trust the person that has sold their games, that this is going to be scratched up, and right. like I'd rather pay the extra money for the assurance that it's going to work and work well, and not have somebody let their sticky kids get all over the case and that shit's all ruined aesthetically. But that's superficial, that I do have to appreciate that's kind of superficial and not really what's important, and I should aim to try to spend as little money as possible.
That's like, I've been working on building out my physical movie library, and there's a Goodwill not too far, and periodically I'll just drop in there because they have DVDs and Blu-rays.
You missed out on the absolute golden time to be filling out a movie physical library last January when Best Buy was getting rid of all of their 4K and their Blu-ray stock.
They were liquidating that shit. Yeah.
I got so many fucking movies for $5 or $10 for a 3-pack, or
Yeah, I did miss that.
I just remember the days of like going to Walmart and diving in the $5 bin. That shit
The
was
best.
yeah, the $5 bin doesn't exist anymore. At least my local Walmart doesn't have one, and their like movie section is like painfully small.
Well, that's just because, like, again, DVDs are really not a huge thing anymore. It's, if physical media, movie media is like Blu-ray, and if it's not like, Blu-ray, then people just watch it, via a streaming service.
The crazy thing about that is the Target that I have nearby had a decent little like movie Blu-ray section.
Yeah, Target's
got
another
rid of
one
it.
that got rid of theirs.
Yeah, no, they got rid of it, but they replaced it with records.
Yeah, I was
Literal-
going to
Oh,
comment
vinyl,
Like vinyl.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm like, how
Walmart
does that sell
also-
more?
So like Walmart's, the one near me at least, the movie section is one kiosk of movies, one kiosk of records, and then
Because your
gift
question is like,
cards.
why do those sell more? Is because
Yeah, how does vinyl sell more? I'm shocked.
you can't be performative with a physical movie collection like you can with vinyl.
Yeah, fair. I guess that's true.
There are people out there who do the you can't experience this movie in
Audiophile, yeah, the
in
audio
any better
file.
way than a Blu-ray, but like that's way more prominent with music and vinyl.
Yeah.
There's a huge the performative male.
Right.
I love those.
Absolutely.
I love those videos of like the performative mail competitions, and one out of their tote bag, their farmers market tote bag, they
Yes, yes.
pull out like the Brat album in vinyl. So good.
I saw a meme where it was like, when I see bro talking about his favorite new like feminist theory with
Literature,
the baddie at the
yeah.
bar, and it was like he thinks he's like making him look all Chad. It's like me when I know who he truly is, and then it shows him as Noya Zenin, like the turbo misogynist from Jujutsu Kaisen.
That's pretty accurate.
All right, who's next? Who are we gonna not silently judge about their spending or gaming habits?
I can go next.
All right, hit us.
All right,
Let's
so
hear it.
mine, I ended up coming up with 3. None of them are like massive, so they're 3 smaller things. 2 of them aren't related to video games, but are related to gaming, like tangentially in tabletop. So my first
I would say that tabletop is not tangential. Don't belittle yourself.
One of them is definitely tangential.
Okay, fine, but tabletop gaming in its own is totally valid, and
So
that
my-
would have been one of mine, is to get more into to do more tabletop stuff.
That is my first one, is to do more tabletop this year, whether that be D&D, any other tabletop gaming, PK, just try to get more into it and do more either in person or virtually, because like I know the Cat Cafe in town hosts a D&D night.
You have
every
a cat
week.
cafe?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, that's sick. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Just recently
D&D Cat Cafe?
yeah, they made a post recently that someone had stolen like their donation jar, and I was just like,
man.
what type of low life steals a
ridiculous.
donation jar from a
From the
place
cats.
that's
You're stealing. You're taking wet food out of the mouths of kittens. What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are
or
you doing with
starving the
yourself?
kittens?
Yeah.
That's something I just in general want to do more this year. We didn't really do much last year, and it would be nice to like.
Matt's been sending pictures of the Necron models he's been buying.
Yes, that's so.
And
That,
I'm just like, cool, bro.
that ties into number 2. So number 2 is I want to set aside more time to actually do more of my 40K model building, paint some of my army, if not all of my army. That would be fucking cool to do at some point. But I also I have a bunch of other models that I want to build and sit down, dedicate more time to that part of my hobbying. I've got a Gundam that's been unbuilt for 3 years. I just bought a Blue Eyes White Dragon model that I want to build.
I still
Got
have
some Lego
this one.
models that are sitting unbuilt.
One is directly video game related. I still have the 2 Armored Core models that I need to build.
I'm waiting for the higher quality Armored Core model to drop, and I'm going to buy that.
So Matt, if you're looking to play some D&D, if you want to run a mini campaign or a one shot, I'm here for it. I just don't want to run a game anymore.
I have the background bones of a mid 1900s New York noir, but using traditional D&D fantasy. on top of it.
Do Spider-Man
Fun.
Noir.
I'm totally down for some more D&D tabletop that we can do virtually as well. Like,
So those are two of them. And then the third that I thought of this morning as I put Demon Souls into my PS5 for the first time in a couple years is that I've got a bunch of games that I've beaten that I haven't gone through and quote unquote finished that I would like to go back through and completely knock off and get all of them wrapped up and completed.
So his resolution is being actively more unhealthy and becoming more obsessive and perfectionist.
Yeah, I definitely wasn't sitting there this morning going through my Demon Souls inventory and taking a tally on what, because I'm missing 3 trophies. I'm missing the Help a Player online. I'm missing 1 ring, and I'm missing 5 spells. So I was tracking which 5 boss spells I needed, the 1 ring, which is the pure black character tendency, kill all the NPCs ring, and then I was going through my weapon inventory and tallying up, which weapons if I'm missing any, and same thing with armor, and then immediately went through and killed Tower Knight because, Demon Souls is a baby game for babies.
We love to ankle bite the gigantic magic suit of armor.
Yes, quite literally ankle bite. But I was thinking about that this morning, and there's a bunch of games because I was going through my my PlayStation app, and I was looking at my trophy collections for all the games that I've done. And there's a bunch that I've beaten that I would love to go back and finish out platinums for, Strangers of Paradise, Demon Souls. Returnal might be a really fucking tough one. I was looking at my trophy remaining on that, and boy is that going to be interesting.
What kind of stuff are you talking about? What am I getting myself into when you make me
you're
play
not
that in a couple of months?
So you don't give
I know, fuck, but still.
One of them is you have to find all of the lore markers, and those are just randomly dropped whether or not they're in your map or not.
Oh, it's randomly generated in a run.
Yeah.
Dude, I hate roguelikes. I hate procedural generation. I hate that shit. I hate it. I hate it so much. But I hate that you're making me play this game. I'm really not happy about it.
It's going to be topical because Saros is coming out. I mean, I was looking.
No, you're right. No, you're absolutely right. And again, that's the whole point of doing those episodes is to make you play things. I mean, the point is not to make you play a game that you'll hate. The point is to try to make you play a game that you might.
And Returnal has some of the best PS5 controller optimization that you'll find.
I just don't want to play it.
I think Ben, you'll find things you like enough about it.
I'm pretty sure
won't
I
be
will
so painful.
I'm pretty sure I will too. But
I was looking at a list of games coming out this year, and there's just so little that as we sit right now that tickles my fancy. That is this is the perfect year for me to finish.
There's very little that's set in stone, right? I've got a few things that I'm am really interested in. One of my top ones is the new Onimusha game, and that's got no guarantee of a release date. There's the Tides of Annihilation game, looks cool, but I don't think
there were 4 that I saw, but I can only remember 3 off the top of my head, and I was listing them out. So it was Saros, new Fire Emblem,
yes, Fire Emblem, and the 007 game are
Wolverine.
The things that have dates. I think 007 is the one that
and then there's theoretical games we're probably due for some sort of new Zelda game this year, whether new means just a remake of
it's probably
Oracle,
just going to be
the Oracle games. There's been semi decent rumors around an Ocarina of Time remake, something like that. I would jump into a new Zelda game, but there's not a whole lot coming out this year that's going to I have to day and date drop what I'm doing to play this game. So what better time to go through and knock out all of these games that I've finished, finished.
I felt pretty similarly as I was looking through things. It's just, for me, I'm more I do have plenty of stuff in my backlog.
And we'll clearly have more stuff showed off. I think this year in particular, a lot of companies.
Hold on, before you continue your thought, I can't believe neither of you mentioned Duskblood.
That was my 4th one. There we go.
Fuck, because that again is not real yet to me. That doesn't have
that was the 4th one that I had because I had 2 Switch games.
I thought it was March.
PlayStation games. It's just 2026. It doesn't have a
It doesn't have
that screams fall 2026 to me, and Fire Emblem screams summer 2026 to me, because the way Nintendo releases their games.
That one possibly has because Engage came out in I think in January the year it came out, so that has a chance to be shown or like with a release
Because
date.
we'll be due for a Nintendo Direct probably early February thereabouts.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a release date for that at that one, and that it's like maybe spring.
But what I was going to say is like this year isn't set in stone for a lot yet because I think a lot of companies were holding their cards.
We are still early and
waiting on the GTA 6 to drop.
Address me. I love the new meme. It's just the picture of the elephant and just address me.
Like, there are going to be some games that drop that don't give a fuck about GTA 6. Like I guarantee you, Pokemon's 30th anniversary, they're going to drop something in November like they always do because they don't give a fuck about GTA. Halo's going to drop on their 25th anniversary, same time in November, because they don't give a fuck about Halo, whether it succeeds or not.
The new Gears of War is supposed to drop this year, but like I also like don't really feel strongly about that.
I just like so unbelievably don't care about
I don't care
the
about
Gears
that
franchise or like they had their Xbox partner showcase they're going to be doing, and they're like, we're going to have news about Fable. It's like, oh boy, do I care.
That's one that, yes, I am interested to see how that pans out, because I like a fantasy RPG. I love British humor. So if they can pull it off, that's one that I'm really excited for. If they can pull it off.
There was a podcast I was listening to where they were he was talking. He was like, I don't know if it'll ever live up to like the way that old Fable like built my like gaming career. And then one of the other hosts commented, he's like, old Fable didn't even live up to the hype of old Fable.
Although people will make the joke that they'll finally do the thing that Peter Molyneux promised from the original one.
Plant the acorn and watch it grow into a tree.
Yeah, man.
But those are my three. I'm actually anticipating that tonight I might kick off one of those, and I might...
What happened? Weren't you playing Octopath 2?
I am.
What happened to that?
Octopath works in a different part of my mind because it's pure turn-based, a lot slower, more story-driven.
I can work on like that similarly, yeah.
Because
are you playing it like purely handheld?
No, I'm playing it mostly on the TV, but I have played some of it handheld.
See, like to me, if I were to like to do something like that, that's when I could do like I'll play it a couple hours.
It would be more handheld if there was more like in a heavy sports season going on for me right now. But the New York Knicks don't exist to me at this exact moment because they've been burning my soul, and Syracuse basketball's doing great. Go Key and Anthony.
Baller.
But they exist in different sections for me. So like Demon Souls is something that I'll play to get a little action out of the way. And like it's fucking easy. Like I don't care what anyone says, oh, it's the original hard game. Yeah, maybe
Demon
when
Souls,
it came out.
Souls is easy except for that one level in, I think, what is it, like 4-2? World 4-2, the one with the rolly skeletons and the summoners.
Yes.
Like, just like finding like the third summoner. Finding like the second or third Reaper as you're like going around the corner. I died so much there. That's hard
one
part.
level that really sucks. And then when you get to the boss, you're like, oh my god, old hero, so easy. Put Thief Ring on and like easy mode, and then you die accidentally. You're like, how the fuck? I don't have to do this all again.
Wait, so Matt, I thought you were playing Avatar 2. Did you just picked it up? You didn't start?
We talked about that. Yeah.
I played it for like an hour, and
okay,
like I will.
It was the autosave thing that got him. We had this discussion last time. It was the autosave.
I need the ability to more tangentially be able to pick and stop at points. Demon Souls works for me because I can just be like, cool, I finished a level, I'm going to drop it here and save and quit out. Or Octopath has set up save pedestals that I can.
I was explaining it to Andrew before we started recording, and like, there's so much stuff in the game that will act as autosave things that like you can pick it up and put it down with some minor inconvenience. I do, though, fully understand the criticism. I agree with you. I would much prefer I don't mind an aggressive autosave, but I also would like a manual.
A lot of companies do it because a lot of companies are afraid of the save scumming, and
I would defend it in this game actually because it would trivialize your material gathering. You could much more easily, if you save scum material farming, that kind of cuts a huge part of the game.
I might have engaged in some save scumming in Octopath, doing some path actions with really low percentage outcomes early to try to get some better gear. Because like there's a whole setup in there where it's like different characters have different path actions. So like I have a thief who can steal, and the higher your thieving level, the easier chance you have of stealing shit. And I got to a couple things where it's like, ooh boy, a 2% chance to steal a really like overpowered weapon. And like if you fail 4 times, you like your level in the town goes down. You can't perform path actions unless you go pay the bartender off to like fix your reputation. And I definitely was like, okay, cool. There's a save pedestal right there. I saved before I did this. I'm going to give it 4 goes. I'm going to fail. I'm going to reboot it, go back at it again, give it 4 goes.
I think that's cool. But I'm totally with you back to your kind of first ones that it's another thing I'd really like to do, but I struggle to feel how I'll commit to it is I want to get back more into tabletop stuff, whether that's,
I definitely
playing
wasn't watching a video
RPGs.
yesterday while I was eating lunch, entertaining myself like a Roman emperor with a video while I eat, watching like basics and tutorializing how to do like Necron paint jobs.
I do like that that's where you're going. You're me like 4 years ago.
Well, that's
I learned a lot on YouTube. I can give you some good channel recommendations.
Yeah, it's just one of those like it'd be cool to paint my army up a little bit, give them a little bit of zhuzh. It doesn't need to be perfect.
And Necrons, you can do a pretty good, pretty satisfyingly good paint job without a lot of difficulty. Like I think we've described it. Like for the base of it, you can do more stuff to make some effects more kind of pop and potent. But like the core of it is like you base everything black, and then rather than doing like a Zenithal Prime where it's like again you can just use a spray can rather than spraying from above with like a white bit like paint to like do shading like that. Games Workshop, this shit's expensive. That's the one side of it. The Citadel spray paints are expensive, but they are very good quality.
Yeah,
but you can get metallic. You can get their metallic ones. So you do a Zenithal spray of the metallic over the top, and it accomplishes the shading because the underneath parts stay black and stay dark. But then you're basically doing all the metallic, and then you can do some other effects to kind of change some of the other colors. And then if you wanted to really get kind of fancy, it's how you do the lighting for their
energies and
their energy weapon stuff.
I'm gonna go orange instead of Necron green.
But there's also easy ways to do that. There's also pretty easy ways to do that. You paint those parts white, and then rather than being fancy with like an airbrush or something, just dry brush over it, and it's like super easy and kind of idiot proof.
Yep.
And we'll get you a good
I was
effect.
looking at it, and like I've got enough simpler models. Like I just got the Cryptek delivered today. I could start with that. I got the Kill Team box. I could start with them because that's a smaller set of units. I'm not gonna immediately jump in and be like, let's paint the Silent King.
Yeah.
Silent King, first one, go.
I think I described to you as like, I think rather than, because one, they're not my favorite to play with, but then rather than, even though I have a huge collection of them, rather than try to batch paint my 100 Space Marines, is that to do orcs, which I have like a very small collection of, could create like kill teams or a small army, and then just to build and paint them unit by unit, and to not move on until...
Well, that's what
not
I was
build
thinking,
a shit ton
like,
and have that. Yeah, I think that's a smart way
start
to
with
do
the
it.
newer models that I just got and do them as I'm building.
That's very thematically what I was saying earlier, right? Is the key to a lot of these things is scope, is properly scoping.
Like I said, I'm not going to jump in and do the Silent King, immediately. Yeah, I'm not going to say, I need to have my whole army painted in a weekend. But like I'll start with the models that I just bought, and then I'll work my way through and, start knocking out some of the other, maybe do the Ophidians, maybe, hit some Scorpex that, are never going to... Actually, I shouldn't say are never going to see play. The new Destroyer Legion detachment rules are fucking nasty.
My one hesitation right now about getting back into Warhammer, playing it, is like 7th edition is going to be like around the corner. It's just like... might as well wait till new rules come out.
I can't wait for them to nerf reanimation protocol again.
Again.
Your models now no longer regenerate points. They actually lose points for existing.
Instead of living metal, it's degrading metal. Yeah. No, I'd love to get back into it because I still love the...
And like, I just want to paint them because even if I'm not going to play it as much, if I paint them, they're displayable and I can, set them up to be seen.
I do want to play more. However, it's what's tough about the game, and it's a part I love and I hate about it, is it's so fucking long. The games are so long.
Well, we can start with something smaller. Like I have the new Kill Team box. We could do.
I also need to buy the new Kill Team rules. That's another thing, which I looked for. I was at the local shop not too long ago. It was actually, I was looking for, I bought myself some Magic cards, but I was also looking to see if I could get anything for you for Christmas, Matt. I eventually found something else. I had another idea. Like I went in and there was like one, they had no Necron models. That was really surprising.
It's been tough out there.
And then I was like, for myself, I was like, yeah, if they have the new Kill Team rule set, I'll get those because I think I'll want to try that. But no, they didn't have anything. I was super disappointed.
Games Workshop has been out of the Galactopus Hexmark Destroyer for like several months now, which is fascinating to me because he's dog shit. Like
again, he's back to being. Wasn't he really good for a stretch, and now he's dog shit again?
Yeah, but there's people thinking that.
I love how they do their rule stuff. I love how they just it's a different game every 2 months. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Well, that's the funny part is I'm pretty sure he synergizes really well with the new Necrosar Mentor model because they both have lone operative and can play off of each other.
I would like to join you in doing more tabletop stuff and more.
But like I was looking at it and like I can do some of like my Gundam builds. I could start doing those here potentially because I only have one cat to contend with, and she's a sleepy boy, and I can do a lot of building while she's sleeping, and I can also just buy like a raised lip container that I could be like cutting all the plastic nubs into, so I don't have to worry about them flying everywhere.
You say that they will still fly everywhere.
I will build it in a tented zone so that they.
Yeah. That's a bit of a fool's errand to try to contain that shit. Believe me. All right, Andrew, what do you got for us?
What do I have? Hey, I do like the more tabletop. I'm all in on doing more virtually that we can. But for mine, I have one somewhat similar to Matt, but some might call Matt's definition of finishing a game a little bit perverse. I'm not saying that personally, but
I thought we weren't judging that.
Yeah.
I didn't say it. I heard echoes behind me.
I feel pretty heavily judged right now.
But I am going to commit myself to platinuming one game this year. TBD on what that game will be, but I want to commit myself to that more in-depth level of
I can guarantee you that like Wolverine is probably going to be an easy.
It'll definitely be something that's on the easier side.
No,
but
you need the Platinum Demon Souls, which requires you 5 full playthroughs.
Pass on that one. But yeah, so that's my first, more of a commitment here. And
what's your reasoning behind that one? Why the kind of divergence between how you normally play? Why the Trophy Hunter arc?
Why the Trophy Hunter arc? So, I'm not going to be doing this with every game for sure.
Regularly.
That's what they all say initially.
It's gonna be.
That's what I've said.
Trophy.
I've amassed a small collection of platinums myself, and again, I'm playing Avatar, and I'm scrolling through the trophy list, and I'm like, I could probably do this, but there's some bits of it that I don't want to grind through, but there's a chance I might get
when it pops. You'll be addicted to it.
So Night Rain was the first platinum I've gotten, and I did that sound did make my insides tingle in the right way.
So I will say there used to be a lot more positive incentive for platinuming. Like on the PS4, there was a lot of games that if you platinum them, you got an exclusive theme for the game for your console. Sometimes PlayStation games, when you platinum them, they send you a little email just being look at you, good boy, we're so happy for you. I'm pretty sure Astrobot did that when I platinumed Astrobot. I got an email with Astro, and he was just you're such a good boy.
I don't think I've ever gotten a personalized message in the
Hilarious.
the 6 or 7 platinums I have. God damn it, I did it. I said the thing. I think it might be 6 is my
yeah.
I definitely remember my Horizon Zero Dawn platinum theme that I rocked on my PlayStation until I platinumed Final Fantasy VII Remake, which then was Tifa and Cloud sitting on the water tower.
The water tower, sick. Can we take a brief detour just as you mentioned that and just say that I love James Cameron, I love Avatar, I really like the new Avatar movie. The new city that they've built, it's just Midgar. Like the scenes when it's nighttime and Neytiri is going in to rescue him. It's just Midgar.
Right.
They made Midgar on Pandora.
You're right.
But I mean,
oh my god,
that's most future dystopian cities.
I leaned over to Matt in that scene and was just like, it's Midgar. All they need is staring up at the smokestack.
Yep, absolutely. No, so the reason behind this arc is I have decided to make 2026 a year where I embrace a little more friction in my life. Erosion of friction through technology is something that I do view as dehumanizing to an extent, and
2026 is going to be a lot of horse-drawn carriages, a lot of pooping in boxes.
Life is pain, folks. You must embrace that.
Yeah, you gotta embrace
Existence is pain.
Get into a Zen state, deal with some of that friction, and be kind of enveloped in that. So extending that to my gaming habits, I'm gonna
Does that mean
commit
no
myself.
more food delivery apps? You have to physically call the restaurant.
Easy now.
Let's not take things too far.
Listen, I have a degenerative leg thing. I'm not allowed to go get food myself. I need it brought to my apartment by underpaid workers. Let's not
work in basically an indentured servitude caste system.
Yeah. So that's the impetus there, is extending that to my gaming habits.
You should
kind
make
of
your first
force
platinum
myself
Dark
to deal
Souls
with
1. Spend 6 hours farming that one particular silver knight until he drops the weapon you need.
Yeah, no, I won't be platinuming any game where any of the trophies rely on RNG luck, because that's bullshit. That's just like, that won't be a game that involves that won't be platinum.
I pretty much don't do I write off any of the ones that require multiple playthroughs as a rule.
Yes, that as well. I won't be doing that either.
But new game plus 5 on Demon Souls just so that you can get the fourth boss soul item.
Pass. So that's my first one, an exercise in commitment to something in gaming. And then the other is going to be an exercise in restraint, in that I will not be purchasing any new sports games in 2026.
Why?
Because I'm fed up. They really don't add anything. I have enough in my library already. Right? What does it mean?
NBA 2K27 is going to have a LeBron retirement edition.
Oh my God, you're right. It is. I hadn't thought about that. Whatever. I can buy it when it's actually 2027, because then I'll have still fulfilled my resolution.
You'll wait until the exact minute on New Year's passes.
12/01 2027.
But yeah, they're not worth it. They really aren't. I have enough in my library. I can scratch that itch without feeding the
Does this extend into Mario sports games? Will you be picking up Mario Tennis Fever?
No, I'm not. It does extend. I have Mario Tennis for Switch. There's just no way they've improved it or done enough to make me want to spend.
Baby Waluigi as a playable character.
I think you're probably right, but there's a good chance I buy Mario Tennis. But I think you're probably right about that one. I don't think there's any real...
There was a Nintendo podcast I listened to where one of the hosts was like, this is going to be like the most purchased 7 out of 10 game that everyone has.
Yeah. I mean, we did that with the Mario Strikers Battle League, which was like fun, but like not good.
Right. Exactly. So I think those are my main two. And then my last one is I've committed myself to not playing any game unless I'm gooning to it immediately. So those are my three.
So Andrew's playing Stellar Blade. He's playing Umamasume.
Are you mispronouncing that on purpose?
As
part of the meta of mispronouncing Uma Musume?
Yes, I am doing it intentionally.
Okay, good.
I was listening to it was the Kind of Funny episode where Greg Miller was going through the DICE Award nominees because he's the host.
Yep.
And he like butchered like 8 of the game titles. And he's like, I got like a month to figure out how these games are pronounced.
That's enough time, pal. That's funny. Right. Yeah, those are my resolutions for the year.
I've got one last one to wrap up, put a nice little bow on it, and a little kind of channel, but also kind of, just a friend thing, is I'd like to play more multiplayer games with you guys.
Yes.
I don't want it to just be more Night Rain.
That's the hard thing, though.
I'd like us to play more. The problem always is like, I don't want to like ask you guys to spend money on even $20 on a game that we're going to play a handful of times. But I also don't want. We're not going to be playing free to play games. It's tough. Like, I want to find. I mean, we could play things like Peak, right? Which is like, I think like $10. That's a minimal.
I'm just saying, Returnal has co-op.
Does it?
Indeed,
Didn't
it
realize
does.
Like 2-person, probably. Yeah, but I'd like to play more group. I'd like to play some friend slop with you guys.
Yeah, I'm down.
I'd like to do a little bit more of that. Even have like some scheduled regular multiplayer gaming time with the homies would be fun. But it's tough. That one's tough just because it's it's really hard to convince. It's hard to convince people to pay money for games that we're, gonna dip in and out of.
I think the number I saw was that Peak sold 10 million copies last year.
I'm totally down on the friend slop. My issue with it is just like so much of it is just FPS, and like that's.
You're telling me we're not gonna play High Guard when it definitely drops in 10 days from the time of recording?
No, we're gonna play the new Halo multiplayer.
Marathon, duh.
Yeah, no, it's like I don't want to play Arc Raiders. I don't want to. You're right. I don't want to play the shooters. Like, I'd rather play things that are like the epitome of the friend slop. I'd rather play the Peak. I'd rather play like the Mage Arena type thing. I'd like the silly things that we don't do. I'd rather, the things that we can, not take seriously. Yeah. But it's so tough. I know we've tried in the past, particularly when we were kind of streaming regularly. It's like, let's try to find something that like is only like $10 that we don't care about just playing here and there, dropping for other things, and just, dipping your toes in for a fun little gaming session here and there, because it's less about the game itself and just more about, it's a nice vehicle to hang out with the homies. I think
we're
seeing more of
that. We can do VR chat.
Only if I can beat Guatemalan Knuckles. That's it.
Ugandan Knuckles.
I'm pretty sure now he's Guatemalan. He speaks Spanish and a lot of. So the original is Ugandan, I know, but like I'm pretty sure nowadays he's Guatemalan.
Ugandan Knuckles is like 8 years old at this point.
All right, yeah, this is going to be probably, when it's edited down, a little bit of a shorter episode, but long enough that this will go up on the main podcast feed. It's a little kind of short, little bonus episode of the pod. Yeah, any final things? Maybe not for personally, but for the channel. Anything you'd like to see content wise for the channel? Anything exciting you'd want to try out, or goals you'd want to set for the podcast?
Channel OnlyFans.
No, we're going on Wiki Feet. That's where our niche is going to be. Feet finder.
I got crushed athlete toes.
The weirder your toes, the better you do. People, it's like a train wreck. You can't.
No
look
one
away.
told me when I was growing up that wearing cleats that were too narrow to get them.
Yeah, dude.
Get the lightest cleats possible.
Yeah, my toes like all come to a point. Yeah, because of that.
Would have critical health ramifications later in life.
I would like to do some writing. I don't know how often I can commit to that, but I want to work on some of those more written creative skills. And like, to some extent, I want to not from, you spoke more to like a critical analysis side of the writing. I almost want to do some like creative efforts, work together on some sort of story that we can build out to some extent. Like I think that would be a fun.
Could tie in.
I don't know what that looks like, but
it could tie into the tabletop part of it. Try to create a module, a Campaign Comrades module. That could be kind of cool.
My Campaign Comrades thing is to teach me to read good.
Make Matt literate.
Yeah.
We were in Indianapolis. I was like, Andrew, what arena is that? I can't read that.
Is that just because of your vision, or
it was mostly because I couldn't actually fucking read the script from how far away we were.
Yeah.
As for myself, like maybe I'd like to try to get into to do more ambitious video content, like build up some skills with video editing to get more comfortable with that, to do more things that way that can tie into the writing. And then, maybe I've toyed with the idea of just trying to casually start streaming again, just again with no expectation, just to give it a shot. But that's a possibility, and I think those are kind of all interesting goals. And thank you guys for sharing your personal ones. Again, we don't judge here.
I felt pretty fucking judged.
We're all supportive of one another. I support you in playing Demon Souls for the 6th time.
Yeah, and I'm gonna help you get that when I play it.
Yeah, you better. Because if you don't, I'm going to have to go to the fucking Demon Souls subreddit and be like, someone do fucking co-op with me.
Searching for player, please help.
Because at this point, I can't do random co-op because I'm too many New Game Plus cycles in. I'm too fucking high a level for most people to fucking summon me in.
All right, folks. Well, that's going to be it for our gaming resolutions for 2026. We will be back next week with just an update on what we have been playing. And January is the month for backlogs. It's the month for playing what you want to play. There's very little that's on the agenda. So just seeing where we're at.
Code Vein 2, Neo 3, and there's one other game that comes out soon.
Code Vein 2 basically is one that is on my list, but I'm gonna be patient about that. Gotta be.
Yeah, it's gonna be like $30 in fucking November.
But it's got to be excellent for me to play it right now. Like, wow, this is like super surprising, because Code Vein 1 was good enough, but like not like a must play. So I think for me that's gonna be really wait till it's on deep sale. I think even if it's pretty damn
Dragon
good.
Quest 7 reimagined.
That one looks cool. So that one I'm more
demo
interested
drop.
in.
I'm currently sitting there.
It's kind of like the first island.
I'm currently sitting there weighing my choices of, do I switch to it or do I PS5 it?
Interesting dilemma. Dragon Quest, I think are really good.
On Nintendo.
I'd say that, and they're really good I think they're really good handheld. I've kind of just already built my modern Dragon Quest collection on PlayStation, so that's kind of probably where I'll stick. All right, folks, we'll be back next week, and we'll be talking about what we're playing. Sounds like we'll have some good things to talk about, actually. All right, We will see you next time. Happy New Year. Bye-bye.
Bye.